Hi, today we are going to analyze the long-term development of the forehand stroke in tennis. We think that good strategic development of a forehand is based on three following elements. Number one, it should be a good combination of fundamentals and modern elements. Number two, you should use efficiently the player's physical strengths and weaknesses. And number three, it should be consistent with the player game style. So more specifically, we are going to focus on the following four elements: grip choice, straight arm versus double bend, the length of the backswing, and the amount of body rotation. So we think you have a lot of choice there, and depending on your choice, it will affect the long-term forehand development and ultimately the long-term development of the player. So today we are going to focus on one player. We'll analyze his forehand development between the age of 10 and 15. So here you see him the age of 15 hitting forehand. So he has a pretty short backswing. He uses efficiently kinetic chain, so good body rotation, good legs action, good arms action, forearm, wrist. So it's a pretty good stroke for his age, pretty sound technique. And so next videos we will see his development between the age of 10 and 15. So here he is 10 years old. So obviously we can see some elements we were talking about, but as you can see, he's standing pretty far from the baseline. And he doesn't have enough power in our opinion. So we thought how we can change a little bit. So we thought, okay, first of all, he has a western grip, and so that's the reason why he can hit the ball early. Doesn't have enough power. And number two, he likes like all-around game, and with western grip, he mostly likes standing on the baseline, and this is how he play matches. And looking at his parents, we thought maybe also like using like straight arm. For him, he's more like Djokovic, not like Federer and Nadal. So maybe you can like change to double bend. Okay, first element, first change we made is like switch to mild semi-western and like strong eastern. So here you see him playing a match at the age of 10 against older player. And as you can see, so hitting the ball early, he demonstrates some nice forehands, and we switch. This result we switch like from western grip to like this mild semi-western and strong eastern. So you see he likes all-around games. So we've seen like nice volley, nice mid-court game. So all this a result of the switch from western to mild semi-western strong eastern grip. Now second element we changed is that we switched to double bend, and that was mostly maybe the most difficult part in his long-term development of his forehand. So here he is 12 years old hitting forehand. So we see a lot of interesting elements, footwork, like good timing, a little bit increase in power. And the problem, however, is that he doesn't get enough body rotation. So as you see, his feet remain parallel to the baseline, his body remains parallel to the baseline. And as a result, he doesn't have enough arm extension, so he bends his arm pretty soon. As a result, he doesn't have enough power. So they thought we should improve his body rotation. And when you change body rotation, so everything changes. The way he approaches the ball, the way he hits the ball, everything. So it's a very difficult part in the forehand development. So the following video illustrates these difficulties. So here he uses much more body rotation. He's trying to use more body rotation, but the stroke looks unnatural. So he turns his head away from the ball. As a result, there is not enough body transfer into the ball. Body transfer is away from the ball. His finish, the finish of the stroke is unusually low, and this is because he's trying to muscle like balls, especially high balls. On the previous video you saw like he's pretty successful on low balls, but on the high balls he doesn't have enough power. So it was a long period, and we try to improve his forehand. So here's the age of 13 hitting his forehand. So we see a pretty good player and a pretty good forehand now. So all these elements we're talking about: good body rotation, legs action, footwork, arm action, forearm action, wrist, and his results improved a lot between like age 12 and 14, right? Say initially he was like top 30 in the Eastern section United States, never played nationals, and by the age of 13, 14 he became like top 10 in Eastern section, play several national tournaments successfully. So he's able to hit like a lot of like forehands with a lot of top spin or flatten the ball, so it's pretty good, and stroke, and with pretty sound technique. Also, you need to think in terms of incorporating modern elements. Like we thought, he needs like to hit with more spin, and we work on a reverse forehand stroke, you know, like a little bit like Nadal used to do, and finishes on the same side. And we kind of incorporated this in his game. So here he's playing in the American Cup against a very strong Australian player. So you see some examples of his forehand. So he's pretty good control and power. He's able to hit winners. He has a pretty good return because his backswing is relatively short. He's able to incorporate his forehand in his all-around like game style. His good mid-court game, hits some volleys. So you see all these examples here. Alright. Okay, so to summarize, again, you see him at the age of 15 hitting his forehand. We think it's a good combination of fundamentals and modern elements, as we saw, for example, like hits a lot of reverse with extreme top spin. Has good results on clay and hard courts. Uses efficiently kinetic chain, right? Body rotation, legs action, arm action, forearm action, and so pretty good balanced stroke. So to summarize, so when you work on like long-term development, so think in terms of having good combination of fundamentals and modern elements. Think about using efficiently players' physical strengths and weaknesses. So what kind of muscles you think potentially will be stronger for him? Look at his parents and make a focus of his future development. See biceps, for example, double band, right? So, or otherwise straight arm. It should be consistent with a player's style, right? So it's all around. Maybe more Eastern grip. If it's baseline, maybe more Western. And yeah, there is a lot of opportunities. Like try to experiment with different grips, different types of backswing, straight arm, double band, and the amount of body rotation. Thank you.